Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. We have some amazing news to start off with. So since I am affiliated with TradingView, I have this 70% discount that they're going to be doing during Black Friday, and Cyber Monday is going to be, I believe, a 30% discount. And these deals are going to start on November 25th. I am going to post this website to our link so you guys can get that. And then on top of that, an extra little discount for being a member with me. So very spectacular. Stay tuned for that. I'll make sure to put out updates for this very, very awesome discount that we're going to have. Now, for the best part, I've officially released the amazing indicator. I was working hard with my developers to add a few extra things, and I decided to call the indicator the quantum. I just felt like it felt appropriate. It has a lot of different amazing aspects to it, and I'm going to break it all down for you guys. So starting off, when you first get this, there's a lot to it. There's MAs, there's titles, there's a whole lot of things to it. So first of all, I use MAs quite a bit. So I added 3 different sections. You can throw in whatever MAs you want. I'll use the 10, the 20, the 50 sometimes. I just throw them in there and call it good. I'll change this color to this just so I can keep track of them. And then very important for when I'm sharing photos, I always include the time frame, which you'll see up here on the top right corner. And then I'll include my prefix. So it'll show what asset you're trading and what broker it's on right here. And then if you want to show percent change over that given time frame that you're looking at, you can have that. I don't show that just because it's not very helpful. My personal settings are having my position at the top right. I prefer having this all the way up here, kind of hidden away. And then I have my sizes as large, all large, just so you can see it clearly. And then you can change your sizes. You can make it huge. This one's huge already, but you can make, this one huge if you want to make it stand out a lot more. But I like it a little more low profile. Here you can have your own text. So if you want your own company branding, your own YouTube channel, whatever it is, your name, your Discord name. And I am working on pushing out a Discord channel here pretty soon, so that's going to be amazing. Okay, this is where we get to the really, really awesome part, which we actually just added this more recently. Okay, so you have your account size. This is where you're going to put in what you're trading. I went for a standard 150K because that's what most firms offer. And then your risk per trade. This is going to come in very, very handy. So I'm going to do 0.8 for this example. And then you can decide to show your info box. This is the box, the info box down here. So you can unclick it. It'll go away, or choose to click it and it's back up here. I'll get to that in a quick second. And then you have your position for this info box. You can do like middle right, something like that if you want to have it there. I just prefer bottom right. Very simple, keeps it out of the way. Okay, and then you have your colors for this box. Customize as you want. But let's go to style. Okay, first of all, let's get to the actual indicator itself. You have a lot of moving parts here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here. You have your MAs, you have your price action, you have your structure indicator, and then in the very, very background, you have these different colors, and I'll explain how they work. But very quickly, if you want to work one piece at a time, you can turn off your structure indicator. If you want to learn how to operate this thing independently. If you want to turn off your MAs, you can manually turn each one off if you're only using 1 or 2 or however, whatever the situation might be. Okay, changing the colors a little bit. And then you can change your background for liquidity zone, which I will very, very in-depth break this down. Once again, you have another option to turn off both of your table indicators, but I like to have them on at the bare minimum. And yeah, this is the amazing new indicator that took a while for us to put together. Okay, so coming down here into the bottom right corner, we have your date, your time. This is actually super important, I've realized, because when you take screenshots and you post them to a community, some other person might want to go down there and find it and then go back to referring to your trades, like something I posted a week ago. Someone might want to go find that exact thing. And if anything, I might even throw a time frame in here. Actually, no, it's included up here. Never mind. But yeah, they have your time frame. They have the time. Very important right here. If you go into UTC here you have your general time zone. So usually I'm in Denver or Phoenix, whatever time zone is right for you. And you'll see the time right now is 2100, where I'm at right now. Okay, so this is going to show UTC time. This is very important because some people are in completely different time zones. All you do is you come up here, click on the UTC, and then it maps out perfectly. If you look at the time right here, 4 in the morning, there you go, 4 in the morning right now, UTC. Really, really awesome. And then you have your ATR value, which is something that I personally use a lot, so I decided hardwire that into there. Your risk per trade. Now, this is going to be calculated from your inputs. You have a 150K account and you're risking 0.8, your average risk per 1 ATR stop. That is important because my stops are always just about 1 ATR. Now, I have made a different version of this where you can plug in your own SL. However, it messes up a little bit with the dynamic liquidity indicator. And I can break more into that a little bit, but it is quite advanced. Okay, so right here you can see your risk per trade is going to be about 1,200 with a 150K account. And then it tells you, this is the best part, with a static SL of 1 ATR. And keep in mind, ATR is dynamic. It's changing all the time. So this is updating real time, which is absolutely amazing. It'll tell you how many lots or contracts you need to open up, which is spectacular. And then at the very, very bottom, you're going to have this entry criteria status, which is a summary of this indicator right here. So let's dig into it. First of all, structure. Structure is very important to understand on market. I dive into it in all my other videos, but this is a visual representation of the way I was taught structure and the way I think people should be taught structure. This shows general ranges and what you could classify as institutional ranges where money is going trading hands effectively. And so I'm going to make a very, very in-depth video in the beginner section about structure. I'm going to start from the bottom, work my way all the way up. Cool. And then right here, by the way, this is kind of important. You have your server status, which will tell you if everything's functional. And if you guys see any sort of problems, bugs with it, let me know. I'll get my developers on it right away. Usually they get this done in minutes, you know. They're online 24/7. We're good to go. Cool. So let's dig in. I'm going to turn off my structure just for sake of simplicity and to show you guys like how to do it and whatnot. And cool, you have this amazing background. Okay, so I'm going to point out a couple things that are important to you. Number one, if you go here and you're trading a $1.5 million account, I'm going to add 1 0 to this and notice how more of the background is going to turn red. Ready? Boom. Boom. A lot more turns red. What does that mean? So what this indicator is doing, this red background, which you can change the color. I know it's a little obnoxious right now, but I've been working with changing it up a little bit. So like you can go here, make it a little bit lighter. I'm going to do that just for sake of making it look a little nicer. But yeah, I have a few different versions of this, and notice how it got a little bit more red. And so what this indicator is doing is evaluating if the risk that you're putting into the market is good risk for it to have a potential move out of it. And so if you look down here, it changed the number of contracts you have to open. Now you'd have to open 38 contracts with an average risk of about 12,000 per SL, which is spectacular. Like you don't have to do anything and it's updating live. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go into replay mode and I want you guys to focus down here on not only your ATR, but your contracts to open, and down here, your entry criteria status, which right now is saying good. You're good to get involved in this market. Now, if you guys want, I can make this box just a little bit bigger. I know it's a little small. I can make the font a little bigger just for you guys to, or I can make it optional. I can put some settings into here and allow you guys to mess around with the size, color you guys can already do, okay? So as you play this forward, notice how contracts open are changing, ATR is changing, time is changing, date is changing, and then your criteria. So notice as I play this forward, you're good for an entry right now. It's telling you to buy, okay? Whatever it might be. Oh, almost turned red. Okay, it turns red. What happens here? It tells you simply don't. Your entry criteria has failed. It's not a good market condition to enter in. And let's see what's going to happen. You're getting this, what's the word? Indecisive market condition. So you just don't do anything. Cool. We're going to wait for our green, whatever that might be. And I'll show you guys a better example. I'm showing you the interaction between this indicator and how you can use it to your advantage. So you're going to wait. Okay, it turns green, whatever. and now you're good to put your risk in. So I'm going to explain to you guys a little bit. Oh, important detail. This works for both directions. If it's green, you can take sells and buys. It is telling you if putting in money into this market has potential. It's not telling you to sell at red and buy at green. No, that's not what we do around here. I don't teach you guys to follow some indicator to learn how to trade. But yeah, if you plan to use it that way, just don't. So notice some commonalities here. First of all, look at this red section. I'm going to outline this red section, this red section, this red section, and then like this red section, which is quite volatile, this red section, and then this red section. Okay, so pay attention now to green. Green, 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 green. Okay, so what tends to happen in green? We get a big move, red comes around, a little bit questionable, a little bit more green comes around, good move. Red comes around, probably don't get involved. Because if you were to take any entry in here, entry here, notice you'd get stopped out by here. Entry here, you'd get stopped out by here. Entry here, you'd get stopped out by here. Turns green again. Entry here, and it just goes. Entry here, and it just goes. Entry here, and it just goes. Maybe stop out here. Okay, turns red. You take an entry here, stop out, stop out, stop out, stop out, stop out, and then maybe a stop out or a nice little runner here. The moment it turns green, you get your first very entry over this candle, and it just goes. Second entry over this candle, goes. Comes back, another entry over this candle, maybe a break even, turns red. You take any entry in here, it's a loss, guaranteed loss. Like you cannot, unless you for some reason decide to short this market, which is most definitely not reasonable, and I'd be concerned at you if you're looking to sell a market like this. Turns green a little bit. Personally, I don't trade wiki markets like this, so I'd just be sitting out. And this is where discretion is very important. Personal discretion, because everyone's going to have a different system. Some people miraculously might find a way to become profitable within market conditions like these, and that's perfectly okay. The indicator is simply telling you, is your money going to be well backed in a situation like this? And the reason I created this particular indicator is because a while ago I actually entered on lean hogs. This market condition, I believe it was this one. Yeah, I entered on this with 15 contracts, and the total, yeah, you can see why it's a horrible idea to trade this market. So what happened is I entered with 15 contracts, and here, I can even update this to my 150K. Well, I think I was trading like 300K at the time. But notice how you'll get a little bit more green, and it'll tell you effectively when to get involved in the market. And so you can change scaling factors and things to filter out this kind of nonsense right here. And I'll teach you guys how to do that. I think I have to roll out another update for that to be available for you guys. But I can personally go in the code and modify some things that I might not like, or different assets respond differently. And so I'll add some sort of scaling factor in here. Or what you can do is just add an extra zero to our capital, and you can see how well that's reflected, versus if you go into YM, and it might be the same situation, trading with 3 million. What about like 1.5 million? Cool, that doesn't help. So don't trade the 20-minute with 1.5 mil at 0.8% risk. That'd be atrocious. But yeah, this is how it works. I'm actually going to change it back a little bit. We'll leave this example on for right now, but notice how it works for sells too. Okay, I'm going to highlight some more sections here for you guys so you really get the hang of it. Red, red, and then like you can kind of just see. Okay, red price action. What happens here? Chop, 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 chop. Turns green, you take your long, it goes. Turns red. Chop, 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 chop. Indecisive market. You want to see longs, but you're getting sells. You're not going to do anything. Turns green. At this point, you could start to consider looking at sells given your system. Personally, I would wait for more confirmation. I mean, I haven't done a full market analysis, so I don't know. But I'd wait for my confirmations, and then if it's green, I take it. This is simply telling me that my risk is appropriate for the current market condition. It's not telling me to buy, to sell, to get involved. It's telling me, okay, if you were to get involved, your money is backed, meaning there's enough money to cover and potentially move the market forward after you get involved. And this can become very, very important once you start scaling to $1 to $5 to $15 million account, where you can't get involved in every market on low timeframes. You either have to wait for super liquid markets, and potentially you can risk 0.2%. Like, you can mess around with these figures. This is what I mathematically could represent. And this was built using AI, so it's got a bug here and there, but as technology progresses, we're definitely going to make this system a lot better. So if we're trading 1.5 mil and we're risking 1%, well, you best know a lot of your risk ain't going to be supported within this market. Look, it just highlighted more of the red sections. So now you're covering more of your potential risk. And so now notice what zones are really highlighted. Green, move, move, giant move, a little bit more of a choppy move, giant move, giant move, giant move. So now by effectively increasing your account size or theoretical account size, because of course you're going to be playing around with this, you can change, like if you're trading a, what was this, 1.5 million account versus $15 million account, you're more probable to trade in zones like these because money can support that amount of push into the market. Versus if you go into lean hog futures and you try to enter with 1.5 mil and there's an average volume, if you look down here on my bottom left, average volume of about 100 contracts and you enter with 15 like I did, you're going to get slipped to hell and you're going to cause a wick like this, thanks to you, and now you're down in the drain that much. So this is very cool. This will definitely help out a lot of people out there trading, what is this, 150K, not even 15 mil. So if you were trading more reasonable 300K at 1% risk, which is actually quite a bit, the only reasonable times for you to be entering this market would be in this kind of condition where if you look at the volume down here, you're making up, so it'll tell you right here, the number of contracts you have to open would be 0.16. And notice how 0.16 compared to this 400 contracts, 120 contracts, it's pretty significant. So like right here, you'd be trading whatever you want to ride up. And then, like I said, we're still ironing out these very, very small issues. But this new version that I have doesn't have this problem because you get a scaling factor that you can include into the mathematical calculation, so it filters out all this nonsense. So I think it's better for us to move on to a better market that here we can actually move on to a more reasonable, I think 300K at 0.6% risk is pretty reasonable. You're going to get a lot more green in it. And then we can go to a more trending environment so I can kind of show you a little bit more better examples of how I would personally use it and how this is so amazing. Now I don't have to like go look at volume, see how many contracts, like I just looked down here. Oh, I'd have to open 6.67 contracts to put in 1 R of risk within 1 SL. And it's all dynamic. It's changing as the market moves. So like down here, moves, red stops, green moves, red stops, green moves, red stops, giant mover stops. Don't do anything here. Maybe because it knows you're going to get stopped out like shit. I mean, I designed this system, so I'd expect it to somewhat function the way that I've been taught about the systems. And then, for example, you're looking at this market, and it is 11:20. I have to set the right time so I know what session we're in. So it is 5:20 in the morning. USA is about to open up here in a couple hours. And you want to see, like you're getting longs into this market. So you want to get involved long. But it's all red. There's not enough money in the market. Okay, first sign of green. Down here, I updated. You get your pass signal. And then your ATR, whatever you might want to look at. We might add some other statistics down here that might help some more advanced traders, such as derivatives of volume and ATR and all sorts of metrics that I internalize when I'm looking at my trading, but I don't really, there are more advanced topics that a lot of people might not understand because I studied mathematics, so I have a pretty deep understanding of how this works. Okay, so you're waiting for longs. This doesn't mean to buy right now. It means if you were to pump money into the market, it's going to be okay. So you're waiting for your entry buy, waiting. It's still green. You're good for a buy now. Okay, waiting for my entry, nothing. One more candle, there's your entry. This would be my entry right over this high, ATR low. I already know how many contracts I need to open, 3.31 to risk 1800. I think it's a 300K count or 150, I don't know. You get buy stopped in, you get tapped out. Market is still green. You're good for your long right over that high. Actually, you might still be in this market depending on how big your SL was. Let me move this out the way. Yeah, so your ATR is about 90. I have around a 90 ATR. So maybe if you're lucky, you might have not gotten stopped out. Otherwise, market is about to begin closing here pretty soon, so you might not want to get involved. But that was your secondary long. Now, the moment it turns red, you're not even going to put money into the market, period. Because no matter what long you take into here, from my personal testing, it's going to lose. It's going to lose, it's going to lose, it's going to lose. Now you're going to wait until it turns green again. And yeah, who cares if you got your amazing entry right here? Look at what happened. It fell back down. Okay, maybe it turns green now. It still failed status, so we're not going to focus on that. Just turns green. What do we do? Potential entry over this high, but it is a little volatile, so I probably wouldn't take it. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't take this given the volatility in the market. Now this setup, yes. Notice the difference? What was before this candle? A very volatile, up, down, no direction, first strength candle after a lot of shit market condition. What was this candle? Lots of strength after a validated demand came into the market. We have our past condition. You quickly open 4 contracts and swing your SL. What is that? 91 pips or ticks, whatever asset you're trading. So you tighten it up just a little bit through your SL down there, and then wait for you to get tapped in. You get tapped in, and the market goes. Turns red, you're not doing anything. You're going to wait for it to turn back green. Look, no matter what entry you took in here, this is a valid entry for me. But why didn't I take it? There's no volume in the market. There's nothing to support the money that's coming into this market. You're going to wait for it to turn green, hopefully here pretty soon. And maybe you get your entry. Okay, long over these highs. Falls back down. That doesn't mean you're going to sell. Turned red again. What does that mean? Just don't do anything. It's that simple. Wait for it to turn green to ensure that money is going to be worthwhile something in this market for you. Why was this very important? Even though we got a move, even though we got an entry, why didn't it turn green? Because it knows there's unpredictable market conditions coming up. Maybe news, maybe a gap, maybe things. And so another thing I tried very hard to include into here was to include the very next news event. And so the beautiful thing about this indicator, which took so much work, was to get data from TradingView and from your broker, and to know the contract sizing is very important, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to calculate how much per trade and how many contracts to open, because Forex, futures, all that stuff is calculated very differently. If you look at Forex, contract sizes are calculated in 100,000. So we can go tweak around with this. The market's closed, is it? Oh no, I'm in replay mode, that's why. Yeah, so replay mode has a few bugs where it's just replay mode, so that kind of sucks. But we'll be working out on ironing all these problems out, of course. For Forex, you have to divide the number of contracts by 100,000 because that's how the sizing works, and we're still working on pushing that new update out. So for Forex, it might be just a little messed up. I'll try another Forex just to make sure, but I do believe that's a problem we're working on right now, so we'll get that update pushed out right away. But any futures, contract sizing is all the same stuff. So you can kind of see here we are dealing with a half decently large account, which is okay. You can kind of see how this is amazing. Once again, any entry you take in here is going to be a guaranteed loss. Why? Because price flushed back down over any of these lows, or highs in this case. Flush down again, turn green. Your very first entry at 7 in the morning, right before market open, is this long. And then if you're crazy enough, this long, which would have been a break even, turns red. You take your long. Maybe you win, maybe you break even. It doesn't really move. Turns green for a little bit, turns red. You're just simply staying out of the market. All it takes is for me to look at this market, see red, and I am out of there. Because I know even if there is a setup, you better not take it. Look at this. They're set up here, set up here, set up here, set up here. And guess what happens as soon as it turns green? Your very first setup, it just dumps. Again, set up over this high, set up over this high, will happen a loss. Set up over potentially this high if you're crazy. Set up over this high, and guess what? It turns green. Set up over this high, and you're in. It's that freaking simple. Now, it takes a lot of experience. It's not like you're just going to see green and buy, because what happens here? You're getting a different market dynamic. Once again, this is only telling you to get involved. It's okay to get involved in the market, not to get involved. It's okay in either direction. It's just telling you that your money is worth putting in, right? No matter what long you took in here, at least past this point, it was a loss, a loss, a loss, a loss, a loss. Why? Because this thing just flushed down, turns green. Now, doesn't really help the potentially news or whatever. But yeah, look at these giant movers. No matter what entry you took in here, loss, 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 turns green, you get a nice little move. Loss, 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 loss. Potentially an entry here. It looks like news. Yeah, news at 620. Turns green. I don't know if you're quick enough to catch that. But yeah, this is really awesome. It's been a crazy setup for this, but I'm very excited to share this with you. You guys can also flip the chart. It's very dynamic that way. Look, red, don't take any entries. Flashes green for a second, you don't even get an entry. Flashes red, you don't get an entry. Flashes green, your very first entry is going to be a little bit more strength, so probably over this high or over this high, you take your buy and it just runs. Really awesome tools. Now, you are filtering out a lot of the market condition. Like what we can do, number one, in this new update, I am going to be updating the scaling factor so you guys can mess around with the numbers and allow more volatile markets to be within your as presented green. But you do have to be cautious with that, because as you allow more volatile markets, you're also allowing less liquid markets into you. And so I guess if you're trading a smaller account, it doesn't matter. And that is accounted for here. Like if you're trading a $15,000 account, most markets are going to be in okay condition. That's $150,000, $15,000 account. Notice how it frees up quite a bit. Notice how now your money is worth a little bit more. Notice how the market isn't going to be interrupted with your $15,000, assuming you're risking $90 a trade. There you go. And it tells you right away you have to open 0.28 contracts. And it's very few times where the market isn't liquid. And notice what time it is. Market close. What time is it? Market close. What time is this? 1640 after market close. Market close. Market close. Like it's so amazing. And so yeah, this is amazing. 100,000, or we'll do 50,000 because I know other firms do that amount. And I'll show you, okay, at what point are you okay with investing 50 grand? And I'll show you. Notice what happens at all the red spots. I know it can be a little like, it's a lot at first, but let's say you're looking for longs, don't take anything. Don't take anything. You can adjust your factors. So even if you want, you can change your risk to like 0.8 or even 1% risk. So it covers more of this red area. And then all you have to do is look for the bright green. You take your long, it goes. Don't touch the red. Potentially a long right over this high, a break even. Don't touch the red, turns green. Don't touch the red, turns green again, buy. And so, yeah, it can be a very awesome indicator. So what I do in the mornings is I jump onto the chart. I see, oh, it's red, nothing to do. And this has just been a lifesaver. Look at it, just goes, it goes. But yeah, as time progresses, we're going to be adding some more features. I ask that you guys please reach out, give us any ideas. We've already gotten some wonderful ideas to make this a little bit better. One thing I tried but didn't succeed at first for a few reasons actually is the way the indicator was originally set was a small bar down here that was lined up. And so instead of the red being your background, red and green, what I had, and I'll show you guys maybe later, what I had is this just red bar at the bottom, and it'd be, you know, red, green, just how it is here, but just at the bottom. And so I thought that was really cool. But then this box got in the way and it just kind of ruined things a little bit. So yeah, I kind of mixed everything together into one large indicator so you guys don't have to, especially if you guys don't have TradingView Premium, which you absolutely should have, because now we're getting a 70% off, 75 or something with my deal. Yeah, you're going to get an amazing discount and it's going to be so amazing. So get TradingView Premium while you can. It's hella cheap. I think I was paying for the year for Premium, which you don't even need Premium. Premium's the one where you can have like 150 indicators on a chart or something, which is absurd. You don't need that. I made it special for you guys because y'all only need one indicator in a chart. And this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 8, 9, 10, 11, like 11 plus indicators in one chart ready to go for you guys. And it's all free. So go and check it out. I put a lot of money, a lot of effort into this thing, so I really suggest you guys go mess around with this. I know I'm definitely going to be using this going forward. I mean, look at how spectacular this is. I didn't want to publicize this at first, but I know a lot of people can benefit, and I know a lot of the members just love this stuff. So once again, I want to show you guys this thing update live because I think it's sick as fuck. Go play with it. Like, you just saw that turn green. You take, wait, no entry yet. I thought that was going to be an entry. And you could be looking for sales right now, depending on what time frame trader you are. It turns red, you're not touching it. Why aren't you touching it? Well, look at the market condition. Absolutely no entries for you. And this can be very, very helpful for other people to go and spot this kind of stuff. Like if you're just getting started and you want to spot bad market conditions, just go through this, look at all the red zones, look at all the green zones, and then just say, okay, now that I learned it, let me go back. What I'm going to do is turn off my indicator. Okay, so what zones are red? Red. I can just look at this with my head. Red, 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 red. And you start to see the market in a completely different way. Potentially red, red, and then red from like here to here or something. And then we go back, we turn it on. Where's my, there we go. No shot, I just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got every single fucking zone right. You can't even say I have photographic memory because I don't remember what it looked like, but it's very simple. And once you start to see the market from this perspective, it's going to make such a change for you. So really, really go check it out. And then, of course, I'm going to have that trading view indicator or that trading view discount out for you guys on the website, and I'll publish it. If you guys need to get a hold of it beforehand, shoot me a DM, a message, and I'll make sure to get that for you. But yeah, alrighty guys, enjoy and let me know, give me some feedback, drop some feedback on the trading view platform. Just let me know. Once again, I'm going to be fixing the FX side of things just with contract sizing, but anything futures related, it's working phenomenal, and go check it out. All right, peace out.